my name is Sisley, and today I wanted to talk about how I maintain my gorgeous, beautiful pink hair color. So I know that there's a lot of people who are interested in dyeing their hair a crazy color these days, but of course with dyeing your hair with a semi-permanent hair color comes the responsibility of taking care of it so it doesn't fade after a week, especially if you spend a lot of money and time dyeing your hair. You don't want it to fade throughout like 1 or 2 weeks. Also, when I was really interested in dyeing my hair a crazy color, I couldn't stop watching people just, talking about how to care for their hair, even though I've heard like certain tips millions of times. I still enjoy watching people talk about hair because hair and colorful hair and hair dyeing is one of the like 50 billion passions that I have in life. So without further ado, let's talk about hair and let's talk about how I take care of this color so it doesn't fade after like 2 seconds. So the first thing that you need to know about this is that most of the crazy colored hair dyes like blue, purple, teal, pink, red, and yellow and all the other colors in between are semi-permanent hair dyes, which means that these colors fade from 2 to 8 washes depending on how intense the color is, how porous your hair is, how well it absorbs color and stuff like that, and on various other factors. So you will not have this hair color forever. The first 2 times when I dyed like half of my hair pink, it faded about a month later and it stayed like a teeny tiny tinge of pink like for another month. So if you don't want commitment, this is a great thing. But me personally, I cannot really relate to these people who say like, oh my god, I cannot just stay with one color, I have to change my hair color all the time. Nah, I like to keep this hair pink all year round. Like I have had previously the purple and pink ombre, if you have watched my previous videos, and I showed you how I dye my hair that color. So if you want to see that, you can click right here somewhere. And basically I had that, but it faded out and I didn't really want to go back to that, so I went back to pink, all pink, because I just like my hair pink. I've always wanted it and I have it, and I'm not intending to change that. So I need to preserve this color as much as possible because it takes me an awful lot of time to dye my entire head this color, and it's exhausting and I don't want to have to do it every 2 weeks. So basically the first thing that you want to know is that heat and extreme weather conditions and water is basically your worst enemy. Like these are the things that will fade out your color really quickly. In summer it'll fade faster because you're more outside, you're more in the sun, and the wind's blowing in your hair and stuff like that, and it'll most likely fade quicker as it did in the summer for me, and I had to re-dye it like after a month. But now since I sit at home and I'm literally rotting at home every single day, I don't really have to re-dye it as often. Also, water is not good, especially rain, and if you go swimming somewhere, God forbid you go swimming with your beautiful freshly dyed crazy colored hair into a swimming pool with chlorine. That's like the worst thing. It'll fade your color out like it'll be gone. It'll be just over. If I'm ever gonna go to a water park with my bright hair, I'm going to totally invest into a water cap, the rubbery thing that swimmers put on their heads. Also, clarifying shampoos. If you use something like Head and Shoulders regularly, like I used to do before I started dyeing my hair, it will strip your color like crazy. And even when I did dye my hair pink, one time I went to my parents' house and my mom didn't have a color protecting shampoo, so I had to wash my hair with Head and Shoulders, and my roots, the parts where I scrubbed harder, these were considerably lighter and more blonde than the rest of my hair, so it strips your color quicker than just washing it with let's say a color protecting shampoo. Next thing, wash it with cold water. I haven't washed my hair with warm water. Actually I washed it when I wanted to fade out my purple color from the ends of my hair, but aside from that, if you don't want your color to fade, get used to that cold shower. And that's the reason why I don't wash my hair in the shower anymore. I try to not get it wet in the shower, and I just wash it, you know, like in the bathtub by doing this thing and just doing this thing with the shower, you know, how people wash their hair when it's not, you know, when they're not in the shower, because, you know, I don't want to have cold showers every week. So one more thing regarding washing your hair: don't wash it every day. Even if you don't dye your hair, don't wash it every day, and don't wash it every other day either. Like, I know that there are tons of people who think it's gross and unhygienic, but that ain't true. You can train your hair to be less oily if you wash it less often, because I don't know how many times have you heard this, but if you haven't heard this, let me be the first to tell you that when you wash your hair, your oil is being stripped from your scalp, and in response, your scalp produces more oil, and the more you wash it, the more your scalp feels like, you know, oh, I'm dried out, I need to produce more oil, and your hair gets oilier faster. So don't wash your hair every day, kids. It's bad for your, you know, head, skin, scalp thing, and it's not really good for your hair. And if you want to grow your hair long and strong, you better wash it, like, you know, every like 3 days or 4 days if you can. Since I don't go anywhere really, usually I wash it once a week. But if I'm going somewhere, then I will wash it, you know, before I'm going somewhere, especially if that's a party. Like, if I'm going out to like a shop, I'm not gonna bother, like, who cares? The less you wash it, the better it is for your hair. Of course, you know, you shouldn't really like stay, you know, a month without washing your hair, probably. That's unhygienic, definitely, but, you know, not every day. Another thing that you should avoid is heat tools, curlers, straighteners, even blow drying with the hottest option possible, which I also used to do, is really not good, because, you know, you probably heard this a billion times if you've ever heard anyone talk about hair care. Heat destroys your hair, even if it's not colored, even if it's not, you know, bleached. It's still bad for your hair. So yeah, you should cut down on the heat tools. And I never really used straighteners, I never really used curlers. I really love curly hair, but not only I want to care for my hair color, but also I feel like if I attempted using a hair curling iron, I would burn myself at least 50 times before I learned to do this properly. So I think, you know, I'm gonna pass. Besides, there are so many great options of doing like your hair without heat, like, you know, especially curling your hair without heat, like overnight curls, and, you know, like stuff like that. And I think these are great alternatives, and there are so many beautiful hairstyles that you can have, you know, without straightening or curling your hair every single day. So I don't really understand why people do that, but if you like that, you know, you do you. It's just that, you know, it really destroys your hair color. And I remember Guy Tang, the amazing Guy Tang, once making a video and demonstrating how a hair straightener applied to hair for like a few seconds, how it automatically instantly fades your temporary hair color. So, you know, I try to keep away from the heat as much as possible. The second to last time that I dyed my hair was at the end of September, and the last time I dyed my hair was like a week ago. So there was a 3-month gap between, like, you know, the last 2 dye jobs that I had, and my color did fade a lot, but it didn't fade entirely. Once again, you need to remember that the more you dye your hair the same color, the more residue is going to leave, because by the time that my color really faded out, I still struggled to get some of my purple color out, because it was just, you know, some of it just gets stuck to there, and it's really difficult to remove it. So, you know, if I'm going to keep dyeing my hair pink every few months for like another year or so, you know, it's going to get harder to remove it every single time, and it doesn't really fade away as quickly as, you know, the first or second time. So that's always to keep in mind as well, in terms of, you know, keeping your hair color fresh and vibrant. And I mean, this at this point, this is probably my favorite shade of this color. Like, it's very vibrant and very bright pink, and you know, it's nowhere near pastel or, you know, just average pink. It's really neon and really vibrant, and I love it. And I wish I could keep this shade all the time, but you know, it's not really possible because the dye is semi-permanent. Anyway, these were my ways of caring for my hair color so it doesn't fade in 2 seconds, like I said. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found this entertaining or informative and helpful maybe. So thank you so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, please give it a like and comment below if you want to see more hair videos or something like that, or what you want me to make next, because I'm always open for suggestions and I love making videos for you guys. So yeah, thank you so much for watching once again, and I will see you next time. I love you guys. Bye. Mwah!